Hi, my dear friends. Hope all is well. My name is Forrest Pan. I'm a web and a mobile developer based in New York City. Today, welcome to my video series, Authentication for React and React Native with Code Sharing Solution. Today, we are working on video 1.9. This is for the web front end. We're going to implement a dashboard page and we're going to use token to protect the private page. So on the agenda, the first thing is create a dashboard page. That's because if we go to our web application, if we go to the root path, localhost, and the port name, it renders blank. That's because in our code for web here, src components, actually the app under nav folder, we haven't mapped the root path to any page. So this is what we are going to do. First of all, we are going to create a new file under components. That's going to be touch src components dashboard.js. And this dashboard.js file will be mapped in our nav/app.js. It will be mapped with the root path. So let me show you how this works. So basically, in here, instead of private, we're going to say dashboard. Dashboard. And this, we want it to be the root path. And the component is dashboard. Okay, so now we need to start putting code in our dashboard. Let's start with the very basic. Import React component from React. And we're going to say class dashboard extends component. Export default dashboard. Render return. So this is what we're going to render. Div I am dashboard component. Let's see what happens. It's still compiling, so we just give it a little more time. Okay, so compile successfully. Let's go to, you see, if we go to the root path, it will render dashboard page, which means we finish our agenda item number 1. We created the dashboard. And then what we need to do is to, now that we have a dashboard page, we are going to implement the token on the sign-in page so that at the time when we go to the dashboard, based on the expiration of the token, we either render the private page when the token doesn't expire, but if it does expire, we go back to the sign-in page to force the user to sign in. So this is what we're going to do. So in the sign-in page, we're going to add one more state. So instead of a username, password, redirect, we plus one more um, that is going to be a new state. We're going to say this will be a token, and it's blank. And so in the file, after we successfully log in, we're going to do a change or update of the state for this token. So in here, we're going to say this set state token is going to be response data, the same response data and token. That's already created. We have already been working on the backend, and so we're going to also have the we're going to const a data equals to, so token will be this state token, and there will be also a time of new date get time. And under here, we're going to say local storage get, set item. It will be user token time, and it will be json.stringify data. So this is how we implement token at the time we sign in. Now that we have implemented token in sign in the dashboard, we're going to pick up the token. So in the dashboard file, we're going to do is to do a couple of things. We're going to import a redirect from React router down, and also under the class dashboard before render, we're going to have constructor. We're going to have props, and then super props, and then we're going to do a bunch of things. So let's shoot redirect equals to false at the beginning, and then if local storage dot get item user token time, we're gonna say const data equals to json.parse user token time. Instead of saying user token time, we probably need to do local storage get item and then we are going to say if new date get time minus data dot time is greater than 1 times 30 times 1000. We're going to say local storage dot remove item user token time, because it already expires, and then should redirect equals to true. And else, if there is no token, apparently we're going to say the same thing. And then in our this state equals to redirect should be should redirect. Okay, so in the render part, we're going to say before we do anything, we're going to say if return if this state redirect, then return, we're going to redirect to /signing. And below here in the return, we're gonna we're gonna do the work on the private page. So basically, we're gonna save this and have the whole thing constructor copy go to the private page and implement in here the same way. Link redirect, and we also need this private. Okay, and so under here it will be the same thing, and we save this, and on the dashboard we're going to import private from private. So that's the same thing in here. I just return private. So I'm going to save this, and one more thing I want to do is in the logout page, instead of just log out, at the time we log out, we're going to remove the existing token, even though it doesn't matter it expires or not. So what we're not going to do is, at the time we do log out, we need to say if local storage dot get item. If it still exists, we just remove it. User token time, local storage, remove item, user token time. Okay, so let's see if it compiles. Okay, it says compile successfully. Let's see. Go to the project. Let's start with the root path. Let's see. Okay, because we are not logged in, apparently we are redirect to login page. And then, we have the online stopwatch here to count the time of 30 seconds. So we want to go to the backend. So now here. So we need to log in a user. Let's see which users we have. We have Jon Snow, Aya Stark, and Mr. React as the users. So I'm going to say Jon Snow, and I want to key in the password. This is the backend, and let's see what happens. If we submit login, you see it successfully logged in, and we redirect to the private page. So before the token expires, every time if we go to private page, we automatically log in. If we go to the root page, it automatically log in because the token hasn't expired. And we just want to test at the time when the token expires at 30 seconds, what will happen. So if we go to root, we are kicked out because the token expires. And if we go to private, the same thing. We are kicked out because token expires. Let's say if we log in again, this time as Aya Stark, Arya, we submit successfully. Okay, so the token time starts to run, but we sign out. We are kicked out because we removed the token. So now let's see if the private page is protected. Something interesting is happened because even if we are kicked out, private page still exists here. So we need to double check what happens to the file here. So in the file, okay, so the problem is here. So in the logout page, so after in here, we need to be redirect to sign in instead of the original one. So let's see what happens. So we are kicked out. If we sign in as Mr. React, to the back end, front end, if we submit, we sign in. Okay, so if we sign out, let's see if so the private page is not protected. So basically we find the bug here. It is in the private.js file in here. instead of say sign in, we need to say log out. Okay, so let's see if it compiles. It compiles, and let's go here again. So log in as John Snow. Log in successfully. Okay, so we sign out and to see if the private page is protected. Yes, it is protected because at the time, if we analyze the code, we click sign out, it jumps to the path logout, which is the logout here that removed the user token time. Before we debug it, it goes to sign in. It just just navigate to the sign in without removing the user token time. That's why the private page is not protected. It's still rendered before we debug. So looks like things to work. And let's go back to, you see, after 30 seconds, um, when the expiration of the token happens, it automatically was logged out. And so now if we try go to the root, it's still there. We are kicked out in the kicked out status. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you enjoy today's video. In next video 1.10, we're still on the web. What we plan to do is to, after we log in, submit, instead of seeing this static page, we're going to actually render some content. For example, we're going to list the current logged in user's username and password. And actually, we don't want to show password here. We only want to show the username and the email address, which will be very exciting and also challenging. And I look forward to it and hope to see you guys soon. Bye.